And that student joining us now from the University of Pennsylvania, senior Eyal Yakoby. Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for your time this morning. I'm curious, the president of Penn said this at the hearing, what you thought about his response. Let's play some of the testimony this week.
The immediate action is very important, and the calling out of the hateful action. We must get this right. The stakes are too high. Penn would not be what it is without its strong Jewish community, past, present, and future. I am proud of this tradition and deeply troubled when members of our Jewish community share that their sense of belonging has been shaken.
Did the president's remarks ease the concerns that you have, knowing actions speak much louder than words?
I think that she was basically just giving rhetoric with no actual action plan behind what she was saying. The first thing she said was immediate action and calling it out. So, and I have already communicated with her, there are countless policies violated when people are sleeping in our student center and harassing students when they walk through. This dormitory has been there for over 3.5 weeks. So if she stands by this idea of calling it out in immediate action, why hasn't it been removed yet exactly? It makes no sense. The second thing she said was, we must get it right. I wrote an article on October 10th titled Penn's Second Chance, because 3 months ago, Penn invited many anti-Semitic speakers to campus without any sort of support for its Jewish community, without disinviting any speakers, including those that support terrorism. And so I titled it Penn's Second Chance. Penn failed their second chance. Penn failed their third chance, their fourth chance. President Magill testifying before Congress was Penn's final chance for her to prove that she stands against hate. And yet she couldn't. If you keep playing the clip, you'll see that she doesn't even have an answer of whether or not calling for the genocide of Jews violates the student code of conduct. Are you serious? It doesn't violate the student code of conduct? She said, quote, there needs to be context provided. That was the final straw, in my opinion, for many students, Jewish and not.
The other thing, and I read your op-ed, you are troubled by what you called the silence from professors on campus. What worries you most about their lack of ability, their inability so far to speak out against hate?
Well, I used to actually be the most fearful of silence from professors, but now I'm actually most fearful that professors are speaking, because what they're saying is truly appalling. We have professors openly calling for global intifadas. We have professors totally diminishing the Holocaust, saying Israel desecrates the memory of the Holocaust. You can criticize Israel, but do not commandeer my history and use it against my country. That is not okay. We also have professors who are making jokes about hostages, saying that the heinous crimes which Hamas filmed and published are not true and simply Zionist propaganda. One of my good friends, their cousin Hirsch, is still kept in Gaza being tortured, God knows what. How does it make her feel when professors are openly saying that? It's truly disgusting. And I'm wearing a necklace, bring them home, and I refuse to take it off until every hostage is taken home. And the fact that there's American hostages currently being held in Gaza, and that is not something that we can rally around, bringing innocent American civilians home, is truly disappointing for me.
Eyal, from where you sit, what is, I know it's complicated, but what is the way forward right now, beginning with discussion, with conversation?
100%. I am always willing to sit down with anyone who disagrees with me. I pride myself on trying to listen to all the multidimensional and complicated sides of the conflict. And anyone who feels unsafe, Jewish or not, should not feel that way. And I want to make that abundantly clear. But I think the path forward is when you have protest Israel, support the Palestinian movement, don't support Hamas, don't support anti-Semitism, don't have calls for violence, don't deface school property, don't spray paint swastikas onto campus, do not accost and harm Jewish students. There is a very clear line between peacefully protesting and creating an unsafe environment to the point where there's destruction of property and students being physically assaulted. There is a clear difference. And so I implore everyone who wants to peacefully protest, it is a constitutional right that you have freedom of speech. But that does not mean you have the right to harass and intimidate. It does not mean you have the right to deface property. And I know our founding fathers would be disappointed if they saw the way that free speech is getting totally taken advantage of and desecrated by certain individuals.
You have shared your personal experiences. Did UPenn have issues with anti-Semitism and hate before October 7th? What did you experience?
Yes, I haven't even been able to breathe since October 7th. We were dealing with speakers like Roger Waters and Mark Lamont Hill, speakers that openly support terrorists that came to campus and spoke. And I think the clear difference, and I appreciate having a diversity of thought on campus, but I think the difference is, number one, they were not being branded as the anti-Semites they were. And number two is, when these speakers came, they were not being branded and invited onto stage saying they have controversial views. They were being invited saying these are loving people. These are not loving people. Roger Waters dressed up as a Nazi SS soldier in Berlin. Last spring, I attended a talk about Palestinian liberation. I'm a Middle East studies major, and I want to learn about, as I mentioned, all sides of the conflict. I was utterly appalled within 5 minutes of this talk. They said Jews were bloodthirsty within the first 5 minutes of the talk. There was an individual in the back wearing a kippah, silent. The student did not say anything. The two speakers, Mohammed El-Kurd and Nora Erekat, were trying to harass him, saying, say something, say something. It was repulsive to see. I could only stay for 30 minutes because the conversation was not centered around Palestinian nationhood. It was centered around the demonization of Jews, and that's something that I will not stand for.
Well, we have to end the conversation here, but it will continue. And hate, what I'm hearing you say, is not new, but how we combat it has to change. Eyal, thank you for your voice. Appreciate your time.